Hi, beautiful twin flames. How are you all doing today? I hope you're all doing really well on your journeys. This is Lisa here from Lisa's Twin Flame Coaching, and I've had a beautiful member ask me a question. And that question was, why is it hard for twin flames to date other people once they've met their twin flame? This is a brilliant question, and one that all twin flames will have to deal with on their journeys. And for people who are used to being in relationships or are used to dating a lot, it's going to be a real shock after you've met your twin flame. So once you've encountered your twin flame, nobody else's energy is going to be a match in the same way. And because they're your same soul, and because they are your divine counterpart, they hold a frequency or a vibration that nobody else can match. So once you've come into an exchange with your twin flame, once you've been activated by your twin flame, nobody else is going to have such a profound effect on you. So this is why a lot of divine feminines, they try to date, they try to move on from their twin, they try to get involved with other people, but it simply doesn't work out, or it fizzles. And that's because they cannot match that frequency that they've had a taste of. They cannot match the energy of their twin flame in another person. So you may try to move on, you may try to form a connection with somebody new, but it may not last very long because you have encountered the highest frequency of love. You have encountered your mirror soul, your other self. So nobody else is going to hold a vibration quite like they do. So the other thing that kind of happens is you cannot hold a high enough attraction for anybody else. So initially you may try to date and think that somebody is attractive and you'll give it a chance, but it probably won't take very long before you see that you cannot hold an attraction for anybody else. And to be honest, this can be one of the hardest parts of the journey when your twin flame is running and you can't quite be with your twin flame. So you're trying to move on, but nobody else feels enough for you. Nobody else can make you feel like you want to fall in love again, or like you want to really put in the time and effort to make it work. So instead of resisting this and instead of finding this a nuisance, you need to try to accept this. Okay? It means that for now, you don't really need to be dating anybody else. If it doesn't feel right, or you just can't stay interested in anybody else, then that's your cue to take a season alone. That's your cue to stay alone for now and focus on your own growth. And you may also just want to focus on your twin flame and coming into union with your twin. But the key point here is to focus on your spiritual journey, to focus on your own ascension journey, rather than going out and dating when it simply doesn't feel right, or when you cannot hold an attraction for anybody else. There is another reason why Divine Feminine finds it really hard to date other people once they've met their twin. And that is because it can almost feel like cheating. You may feel like you are spiritually and emotionally taken by your twin flame. So going out with anybody else can almost feel unfaithful, or like you are not sincere. So when you've got that feeling that it doesn't quite sit right and that your heart and soul is with your twin flame, then going out with somebody else can simply feel like a mismatch, or like you are kind of doing the wrong thing. So again, there's no wrong or right there. You do whatever feels right for you. But if you do feel taken by your twin, then I suggest you stay solo for now and you focus on your ascension journey. One final reason why you may not be able to date is because you simply don't need any more lessons from other people. And I don't mean that like, you know everything. I just mean like when we get drawn into a karmic connection or even a soulmate connection, it's often because we're drawn to that person so they can teach us some lessons. So having an encounter with that person or a relationship may teach our soul some new lessons, and help us expand and grow. So quite often when you have strong chemistry with somebody or you're pulled towards somebody, then that's a sign that you are, you've got something to learn from that other person. There's something you guys can share between yourselves that helps with each other's soul expansion. So if you still have a little bit more growth to go through or a few more lessons to go through, then you may feel like dating and you may feel drawn to somebody else. For example, I had a strong pull towards my false twin flame who was obviously teaching me a lot of lessons, which is why I felt comfortable dating him. However, there were times on my journey where I tried to date other people and it simply always fell through because I felt like nobody could be my twin flame. And even though the twin flame is you, you are finding yourself, you are falling in love with yourself again. And if you don't need any other lessons from other people along the way, then you simply don't really need to be dating anyway. Okay, and this is when I suggest holding space for your twin flame union, or really just focusing on yourself for now and trying to align to the soul and trying to ascend to unity consciousness. Okay, so sometimes like having the distraction of dating or boyfriends or girlfriends or spouses can actually delay your journey because you can get distracted and you can start focusing back on love and back on making somebody else happy rather than focusing inwards and trying to align to your soul so that you can come into inner union. And of course, the beautiful byproduct of doing that is that your twin flame will return then anyway. I hope that helped answer the question. Thank you so much for listening and God bless.